Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Diggerman Fly on RC in Motion, and today I'm gonna start the part 1 build series of the RC 4-wheel drive 1/10 scale 4x4 TrailFinder 2 truck kit. Now, you guys have seen my video on the upgrades and whatnot, and pretty much the kit unboxing. So today we're gonna start the build. Hopefully this will help you guys build your own kit step by step. I know there's a lot of builds, there's tons of builds out there, but they go 2, 3, 4 steps at a time, and they don't focus on the step-by-step portion. Because if I'm showing you today this kit, I want you guys to have the same experience I have, and if I encounter something wrong with the kit, you guys know what to expect. So what we're gonna do is we are going to open our book, and we're actually gonna go, I was looking it over, we're gonna stop today at part 16. I believe it ends with the receiver box. So we're going to try to do this as quick as possible. Starting off by, of course, the chassis and whatnot. So it says we're going to need some hex drivers. So I got the 1.5 hex driver. Okay. The 2.5 hex driver. And the 2.0 hex driver. So it says you're going to need all of them. Okay, it also says you're going to need some blue thread lock. Now, thread lock, for you guys that don't know, is pretty much, it prevents your car or your screws from backing out on vibration when you're on the trails. Normally is recommended when it's metal on metal. Metal on plastic, not much, but metal on metal, you want to use blue thread locker. Just a dab, not too much, because then you won't be able to back out that screw or bolt or nut. So since most of the parts here are metal on metal, they recommend blue thread locker. Okay, let me raise you guys a tiny bit. Okay, long needle nose pliers. These are pretty short, but they'll do the job. And a cross wrench. This has a 7mm, 5mm, 5.5, and a 4. So those are all your sizes there. Okay, so let's start off with the first part, of course, part number 1. Okay, now the cool part about this build is everything is marked off with stickers and names and whatnot. So it's not that hard to build. You don't have to go through a tree and pick out part number 00 whatever. This one actually tells you here. Let me show you here on the booklet. It says M3 by 6mm screws. So all you have to do, of course, is just go find a bag that says M3 6mm, and it's that simple. You see, you just have to find it. So of course it's going to be taken from bag C. So let's go ahead. Here we go. And this is going to be for step 14. So as you guys can see, it'll tell you the step as well. So that's a pretty cool detail they have. Let's try and find those. Here we go. So let's take them from here. These are little short ones, you guys can see. Okay, and it's gonna ask for, of course, the chassis brace, or the chassis, which is pretty much like I showed you guys, metal. Okay, most of your parts are gonna come from the first tray up here. Okay, so it says you want these little indentations outward. Okay, so let's work with what they're showing us. So it should have a mark, which is left, which is right, but I'm gonna go with the little drawing here. So it's pretty much, you guys can see that little tiny lip on the bottom right here that I'm looking at. That's the little lip I want to find right here. So that's going to be my direction or my orientation. Okay, let's set it up there. And then of course this is the opposite, so we'd go like that, the opposite way. Okay, so then it says we're going to need 2 of those, so 4 on each side. Okay, so just 2 on each side. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you guys here. These are the 4 screws right here. Okay, so it wants this piece here. I mean, they don't have a name for it, so I'm just gonna look up the part, which is right here in front of me. Okay, it's gonna be this piece like this, and we're just gonna put it in like so. Okay, so like I told you guys, you want to take that blue thread lock. So this is gonna be a 2mm hex. Okay, and let me show you guys when I say a dab is enough. Just I mean, not that much. Watch, check this out. You can just, there you go. That's as much as you'll need if I can focus there. There you go. That's as much as you'll need. You won't need it. I've been building these trucks for a minute now, so I always use that tiny dab, and it seems to work every single time. So let's go ahead and get it started here. We're gonna put it there, and then we'll go around on the other side. Tighten that one up. You don't want to strip it, so try not to tighten it too much. Okay, and another little dab of thread lock. Okay. And then let's put it in here. There you go. Do the same with the other side. So let's go ahead and do that and move over to the next step. Okay, so we're going into step 2, and in step 2 it says it's time to install the leaf shackles. Even though the kit doesn't say it, I mean, you can reference to the parts online. If you look online, you can see these are called shackles, of course, the chassis. Some of these parts aren't named, but I mean, they just go attached to the chassis. So it says the parts can be found in bag A. So we go to bag A, and we have all the parts, of course, leaf shackles. But you guys saw my video, and I had an upgrade for those, and it's going to be RC4WD Drive's part number Z-S0075. Now these are the silver leaf shackles. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and install them. This, like I said, the upgrades were optional. Your kit would include all the parts black, anodized black, and of course the nuts and the bolts, the screws and the bolts, you'd find them in bag C, like the kit says. They are in bag C. So I'm going to just use my upgrades. So let me show you guys here what I have. So this is what it looks like, the parts we need to install according to the manual. So this is the first leaf shack, of course. I went ahead and took it apart. So here's what you're left with. Let me see. Let me show you guys here. So you're pretty much left with one of these flat sides, and then one of these like bent, like L shape or S shape, or Z or 5 or whatever kind of shape you want to call it. But this is both of halves taken off. So the way the kit wants you to install them are back to back, pretty much. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to install them back to back. So they'll look something like this. Okay. So as a point reference or a marker, or what you want to call it, you want to find this little notch here at the end of the, I'm just going to call this the, let's see, the left side, right side, and we're going to find these little indentations here, not these of course, but these smaller ones. And that's where we're going to put our shackles, leaf shackles. So we're going to go ahead and put them in here like the kit says, and we're going to grab our 2.5 millimeter hex drive. We're just going to drive them all in. Remember, never to cross thread, because then it's just going to be a pain trying to put your screws in and taking them out. So you want to make sure those screws go in straight and you don't cross thread any screws on this kit, because like I said, most of them are metal on metal, and you want to have a good straight line when you're going in. So we're not gonna Loctite these because these are pretty much, they're bolted in. What we're gonna do is we're gonna Loctite this is the back end, because that's where we're gonna put in the nuts that the kit includes, or the upgrades include. So that's what we're gonna Loctite right there. But this is what you're looking at so far. So it's gonna look something like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and install the other side, and I'll get back to you guys.